I'm not really able to do that Bob Dylan thing because I've only got one placard, and I forgot that Facebook reverses everything. So you've got Olossi Hodge, who's evil, apparently, from 8 o'clock. So I'll do my best not to be too evil before the watershed. Just 1 second, because I've got my little thingy here, and that means that I can hopefully find me here. Mark me as an announcement. And then jobs are good, isn't it? Hey? Exciting stuff. Right, thanks a lot for joining us in the shed. I've done the place up special for you, because I just kind of figured that you might get bored of looking at a middle-aged bloke blowing into an harmonica and strumming a guitar, and it'd probably be more interesting if there was something around to catch your eye, you know. But it's good to know you're out there. I can see my screen flashing. That's fab. Right, in the interest of trying to get everything done proper easy, I'm going to shut the hell up, because I've got quite a long set list, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for that, because when I first put out the idea of a request show, I was kind of half expecting a tirade of abusive language rather than some genuine nice songs from my back catalogue. But somebody requested this one, so I suppose I better start with it again. I've been banging my head against the brick wall all day, and what's left of my soul slowly wasting away. Oh, but I ain't gonna die here, alone in the gloom. I'm gonna start a revolution in an empty room. I'm gonna sing out to-la-la, yeah, to-la-la. For my best foot forward, brother, come on, mate. I may be only me and my shadow in the light of the moon, but I can start a revolution in an empty room. Watch me go now. But it don't mean nothing unless you shout it out loud. To four corners of silence are the cries of the crowd. See, we ain't too long here, and yet we all just assume can't start a revolution in an empty room. But we can now, to-la-la, yeah, to-la-la. For your best foot forward, sister, come on, man. I'm only you and your shadow in the light of the moon. But you can start a revolution in an empty room, in an empty room, in an empty room. I ain't gonna sit away somewhere in that glow of an empty room, of an empty room. I ain't gonna, no. La-la, yeah, to-la-la. For your best foot forward, brother, come on, mate. There may be only you and your shadow, but that's me and mine too. And we could start that revolution in an empty room. We could start that revolution in an empty room. We can start that revolution in an empty room. Y'all go. Well, that's blown the cobwebs off, hasn't it? Right, I've got a set list of I've got a set list of unusual tracks, not ones I'd normally play live. So the gig will be what it's going to be. I can't do any of that sort of normal stuff because although I can see little things popping up, I can't really feed into the overall vibe. So it might end up being a bit uppy and downy, but you know, you wrote the set list, don't blame me. Right, this is the title track from my last album proper last year, Headscarves and Hurricanes. Only 25 letters in the alphabet in all, same as in Hartlepool. H missing, Headscarves and Hurricanes. Tells a story of the most successful civil campaign of the 20th century, in which 4 fisher wives effectively changed maritime sea law and saved thousands of lives around the world. And the reason it's not massively popular knowledge, as far as I'm concerned, is because they don't want you to know what power you actually have. This is for Sherry, who requested it. With a cuppa and a custard cream and a biro in her hand, she lit a fire on Coltman Street and drew up her demands. Full crew on every trawler and a radio man too. No more sailing off with kids or Christmas cracker cruise. It was Lily and Bill Locker and Christy Smallbone too, with Yvonne Blenkinsop and Mary Dennis. Didn't have no airs and graces, been just for Westall gals, set out to change the way things worked, and went and changed the world. Like an headscarf on an hurricane, it took a where there is no revolution, you start one of your own. Now Lil and their petition, well, it started in the cry and ended up in Parliament, where changes go to die. Yeah, and she told Mr. Wilson, Flower, this is down to you. We've come all this way to change the law, and I'll stand it till you do. Like an headscarf on an hurricane, it took a man alone. where there is no revolution. You start one of your own. But 50 years have gone now, and the fishing's all gone too. But when I see Big Lil up there, a message still rings true. There are those who try to crush you and to suffocate your dreams, but revolution still start over tea and custard creams. Like an headscarf on an hurricane, it took a man alone. Where there is no revolution, you start one of your own. Kinda nice to sing that song. Yeah. Right. Shall we step it up a gear? Or shall we just stick where we are on this level? I'm gonna sing this one for Davy Kettles, because he requested it, and because it's a good song, being as how it was made here yesterday. For fighters, remembering remember that we stand on the shoulders of giants, and that some people actually died for this. They didn't have a setback and then go, oh, do you know what, I don't think left-wing politics is really for me. It's quite hard, isn't it? This is called Joel. I dreamed I saw Joel last night, alive as you or me. Says I to Joel, long gone dead, I never died, says he. I never died, says he. With Salt Lake City Joe, says I, as he stood by my bed. They framed you on a murder charge, says Joe, but I ain't dead. Says Joe, but I ain't dead. The copper bosses shot you, Joe. They killed you, Joe, says I. Takes more than guns to kill a man, says Joe, I did not die. Says Joe, I did not die. And standing there as large as life, and smiling with his eyes, he said, and they can never kill what will not compromise, what will not compromise. On every field and factory floor, in every mine and mill, where workers stand up for their rights, I'm at their shoulders still. I'm at their shoulders still. I dreamed I saw Joe Hill last night, alive as you or me. Says I to Joe, you're long gone dead. Oh, I never died, says he. I never died, says he. Cheers, David. Thank you. Right. It's funny because you kind of have in mind what you're going to do, and then your adrenaline takes over, and it actually turns into a normal gig in your heart, you know, because your heart's beating the same, even though it's just me talking to myself in a shed. I still, you know what, I'm chomping at the bit. I want to do the full fist in the air set, me, and I'm looking down this set list thinking, really, I've got to do that? But, you know, it's all good fun, we'll get there. Right, this is for Stephen, but most of all, it's for Joe Grint, who actually went through this. I was thinking about this song on St George's Day. It It's a true story of how Joe was assaulted on a train back from Durham Miners Gala in July of 2018 by 3 fascists who beat him up pretty badly. And yeah, it's a tuneful answer to that. You must be ever so proud of your country, to beat up a man on a train. Sure, I beat the roar of those lions who sent George slaying dragons again. You didn't stop when you'd broken his glasses. Oh, the blood splatter fell down like rain. You must be ever so proud of your country, to beat up a man on a train. But I'll stand with my brothers and sisters, whatever their colour, their class or their creed. I will run to their side in an instant and hold out my hand in their hour of need. You see, England is not in your hatred, it's not in the kicks and the punches you win. England needs a new pair of glasses now. England was that man on the train. Now I've given you lots of fair hearing, and I've come to accept that it's true. Oh yes, England does need defending, but it needs defending from you. And yes, I believe in this freedom of speech that you've been out preaching all day. But it seems that your version of freedom of speech is a freedom that take mine away. So I'll stand with my brothers and sisters, whatever their colour, their class or their creed. I will run to their side in an instant and hold out my hand in their hour of need. You see, England is not in your hatred, it's not in the kicks and the punches you am. England needs a new pair of glasses now. England was that man on the train. Yeah. Ah. Right, to get that one out the way early doors, because I've suddenly realised that singing for 2 hours, I might not get them high notes by the end. This is for John Beechin. He requested 2 songs, and normally that's cheating, but John has travelled from the south coast to see us at so many different venues, and it's always a pleasure to run into him and shoot the breeze, and it's just, you know, fantastic to have that kind of level of support from people who are willing to put in so many miles to see us, because I know I don't get near enough to most of you, and I apologise for that. It's just very difficult to do the miles after work, you know. Yeah, this is for John, for putting in the miles, but especially for coming to the Headscarves and Hurricanes gig last July and actually drinking his way down Ezel Road just to see how it really was. Yeah, cheers for that, John. Yeah, that's probably going, you know, way beyond the Call of Duty. I wrote this song when I was listening to an awful lot of Prophets of Rage. Love Prophets of Rage. I'm not always able to replicate that same sound on an acoustic guitar with a maraca in your shoe and a tiny little tambourine strapped to your ankle, but I'll give it a go. You may recognise the central character in this narrative. Can I please get a lyrical witness to the march of the blind and the witless, to the drop at the cliff top where there's a queue for the view and it's look down there, yeah. See the city with the streets like a war zone, see the pole and the hole in the ozone, see the child there standing in the mansard, finger on the button wearing daddy's little jackboot. We can do this, but we need your help. Stand up, cause the well won't change itself. We can do this, but we need your help. Stand up, cause the well won't change itself. No, no, no. What they got ain't enough in the long run. It's not a mix you can fix with a 6-gun. They're just an old man standing in the fast lane. Roll, kill, chill, pill, kids are playing new game. Reset, stick a bullet in the chamber. Poor face, no you're not in any danger. Smile boy, cause a hole in there will suit ya. Bang, bang, you're dead, welcome to the future. We can do this, but we need your help. Stand up, cause the well won't change itself. We can do this, but we need your help. Stand up, cause the well won't change itself. 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 Stand up, stand up, stand up, yeah. You think we're rich now, how come then we're all skint? You think we're free now, better read the small print. You think you're better cause of colour, class and creed, yeah. As people starve while you buy shit you'll never need, nah. You got the right now to kill me with a handgun, or run me over if I won't stand for the anthem. Lies with flies and a bucket full of reason. Gagging when you swallow, then it's terror or treason. We can do this, but we need your help. Stand up, cause the well won't change itself. We can do this, but we need your help. Stand up, cause the well won't change itself. We can do this, but we need your help. Stand up, cause the well won't change itself. We can do this, but we need your help. Stand up, or the well won't change. Right, I'm going to pick up my tablet here and try and interact and try and do a little bit of audience stuff, because that's the hardest part of this from a performer's point of view. It's really difficult because you used to kind of like the to-ing and fro-ing of stuff, and oh god, all I can hear is me talking when I do this. That's a nightmare. So I think I'm gonna have to turn that off, because otherwise you'll hear me just like a couple of minutes earlier. But hello everybody. That was an unexpected thing. I maybe should have thought that one through. But it's good to know you're out there. I can see the comments coming, so that's a good thing. Right, that was that took a little bit out of the old throat. So I think what we may need to do is somewhat gentle. I'm gonna sing this for Mike Richmond. It's a true story, and it concerns Bill Horncastle's dad, who, when he was a small child, was raised in, I believe, the Summer Gangs area of Hull. Now, in them days, Summer Gangs was pretty much the outskirts of Hull. So beyond where their house was basically the allotments. But in the war, before they started building shelters, but they were still tipping bombs on Hull, Bill Horncastle's dad's dad, right, he would get them under the table when the bombers started coming and the bombs started landing. and they would hide under there on a blanket, and obviously it wouldn't have survived a direct hit, and thankfully there wasn't a direct hit. But Bill Horncastle's dad's dad did such a brilliant job of parenting, and I've got to tip my hat to this, that when Bill Horncastle's dad remembers the war, he doesn't remember terror. He remembers the whole family being under that table on that blanket. Now that's a brilliant piece of parenting. And it's also worthy of a song, which I wrote in 2010. It's called Newfoundland Pie. Get under the table, me father cried, as the arid sirens wailed, and he put his trust in that inch of pine, with a faith that never failed. Don't be scared, it does no good. You can cope, boy, it's in your blood. God put magic here in this wood, hold your sister, it's gonna be alright. Night after night the bombers came, but when I remember the war, we're all huddled under that table there, on a blanket on the kitchen floor. Don't be scared, it does no good. You can cope, boy, it's in your blood. God put magic here in this wood, hold your sister, it's gonna be alright. Years have passed, my father died, now that table is mine, and I tell my kids they can trust in God, and an inch of Newfoundland pine. Don't be scared, it does no good. You can cope, boy, it's in your blood. God put magic here in this wood, hold your sister, it's gonna be alright. Hold your sister, it's gonna be alright. Hold your sister, it's gonna be alright. Yeah, it's a sweet song. I really should play that more often. It's just that when you got a tub thumping half an hour, it's there's not always a logical place to put it, you know. Right, before it gets too late, I do have a request from Michael Wrigley for his grandkids, and it's not a song. It's actually to read me kids' books. Swell. It's an unusual one, I know, but we'll go for it. You know, it's live streaming. Anything goes, doesn't it? So here we go. Swell. Words by myself. Pictures by my comrade in crayons, Kevin Pearson. Hiya, Kev. You can get this on my Bandcamp, and it was basically inspired by one of those really, really, really obvious lies that you used to tell your kids when they were really little, just to amuse yourself. The ones that always come back to bite you eventually. And this is one of them. Swell. And then scuttle off to bed, and I'll sing the really, you know, the tasty numbers now. Here we go. Now here's a little story not many people know. It's all about the dinosaurs and just how big they grow. Some say they were humongous, they were spiky, they were scaly. And just how scary were they? Well, really, really, really. Taller than a skyscraper, wider than a house. The truth is, though, that dinosaurs were knee-high to a mouse. See, scientists find fossils, and it's all the proof they need to tell you that the dinosaurs were very big indeed. But what they haven't learned yet is dinosaur remains, far from being humongous, simply swell up when it rains. And when it's pouring down outside and you hear the thunder roar, somewhere out there a dino fossil grows a little more. See, dinosaurs are shy at heart. Well, most are. Kinda. Sorta. They just have to be careful around water. And they never ate each other. Well, almost hardly ever. They've been around for long enough to learn to live together. And underneath the chestnut tree, beyond the garden wall, live teeny tiny dinosaurs who aren't extinct at all. Good night. That is a bizarre request, but you know. This is for Simon Norton, who whenever the shout goes out for what do you want to hear, he requests this song. And it's a song I really like, but again, carrying this around and asking sound engineers, oh, can you make this up as well, please? You just feel like a little bit of a diva, you know, so it got forgotten about. But I really like it, because it's effectively the story of how weird it is being a 20th century boy in a 21st century world, and how if you're middle-aged but still pretty switched on, there isn't really a place for you, because everything is destroyed by cynicism or replaced by youth. And you know, sometimes you just need to hang on to stuff to remind you of what life actually is, and sometimes you need to destroy it because it's holding you back. And this is what this song's all about. Complex introduction, even more complex song, lot of verses to remember. Let's hope I do. This is called Post Psychosis Blues. When there ain't no point in trying, 'cause everything you do goes wrong. When all your road get up and go is got up and gone. When you're feeling like an also-ran that never had a shout. When your hopes and dreams are cigarettes that life keeps stubbing out. Oh, keep on keeping on, keep on keeping on, keep on keep on, keep on keeping on. When you're 1 foot in the past and that's what stops you moving on. Like a school reunion full of strangers dancing to that song that no one ever liked and never will. Still it's those were the days. It's time to burn the bridges down. The flames will light the way. I keep on keeping on. Keep on keeping on. Keep on keep on. Keep on keeping on. So we wanted no more heroes, and we stripped them of their crowns. We put them on that pedestal and then we pulled it down, and now it's prime time television when they once were all the rage. The pink receding mohawk of punk rock in middle age. I keep on keeping on. Keep on keeping on. Keep on keep on. Keep on keeping on. To the freaks and to the misfits, to the wounded and the weak, to the locked out ones with answers but who have no voice to speak. It's no use knocking on their door now, 'cause they'll tell you go to hell. Your culture isn't culture if your culture doesn't sell. Keep on keeping on. Keep on keeping on. Keep on keep on. Keep on keeping on. So you spoon-fed paranoia till you hate and fear and blame, while the self-help gurus try to turn self-loathing into fame. And we analyze our lives through the lens of a mobile phone, and you wonder why with all them friends you still feel so alone. I keep on keeping on. Keep on keeping on. Keep on keep on. Keep on keeping on. Keeping on. Keep on keeping on. Made it. Just right. I'll sing this one next. It's a song that was basically just a telephone conversation with Mick Lanigan while I was writing a Never Be Defeated album, and I just, while he was talking to us and telling me all these stories, I was scribbling them down, and about 10 minutes later I messaged him back because I'd made it rhyme. But basically he wrote the song and I just made the words at the end rhyme. It's called Starve Was Back to Work. It's about the winter and the Christmas of the miners' strike, and it's dedicated to Ben O'Hara, who requested it, to Rachel Joy, who always asks for it, and to Eagle, who always asks for it on Rachel's behalf because he's a sweetheart, and most of all to Mick, and to family, and to all the Hatfield Brigade. I hope you're all well, and I really hope we can get together on the other side and make some noise. Yeah, it's called Starve Was Back to Work, and it goes like this. By winter, well, times are getting harder. There'll be nothing left in ladders for a while. We were felling trees for firewood and riddling tips for coal, but there was always something there to make you smile. Like the day we chased a chicken down the roadside, or the dockers who would lose a crate or two, or the kids out there collecting on the corners, trying to scrape enough to see us through. They were driving empty buses past the pickets, trying to make us think that they were full, to make us see the strike were breaking. We was all there for the taking, yeah, knowing that we're red rag to a bull. On the day we went a raiding all them titties, in a fog so thick I couldn't see me fist. Ran into a brother, then another, then another. There was half of Yorkshire's miners in that mist. It wasn't really stealing, stuffing titties in a sack. It was kinda just like borrowing but never paying back. We were like a swarm of locusts and the farmer went berserk, but we couldn't let them starve us back to work. At Christmas time we did us best for everyone, and they all held it tenant to Santa Claus. Harried out his ambush by an errant pair of handcuffs, but the girls were sympathetic to the cause. We sang and sang and sang, you'll never walk alone, and I remember feeling 10 foot tall. We swore when full of beer that we could take another year, but there was some that said the writing's on the wall. It wasn't really stealing, stuffing titties in a sack, 'cause governments they borrow and they never pay it back. And we didn't steal the future and then drive off in a Mac. We just wouldn't let them starve us back to work. We wouldn't let them starve us back to work. We wouldn't let them starve us back to work. Right, that's kind of a fun song because of the memories it evokes. I will never forget, as long as I live, singing the Never Be Defeated album in the Pit Club, and Through the Wall was where the picket line to Hatfield Main was, and I was singing to the people whose songs they were, me and Rebecca, and it was quite moving, to say the least. Right, I'm going to try and sing this song without getting upset, because during the planning and the building of the We Shall Overcome Isolation Festival, which was sucking all the time out of the day, on top of a full-time job and the family, we lost Steve Goodall, who was the brains behind the original idea for We Shall Overcome in the first place. He commented on a thread in May 2015, "What we need is a night of musical protest all around the country, let's pick a date." And we did. And that's how We Shall Overcome was born. The food bank thing was added, but again that came from Steve. He'd been running these in Widnes the year before at the studio, and we bolted the two ideas together. And I didn't realise how much being so busy running that festival had meant that I hadn't really processed losing Steve until we played the video of his song, Not Enough Bikes. And I mean, I'd made the video, but I'd made it at full pace, you know, with 100,000 other things to do that night. And it wasn't until I sat and watched it and heard Steve's voice that really the impact of him dying hit me. And I don't really tend to grieve in that way, because I think that you know, you need to really celebrate what was great about Steve, and Steve was just a big-hearted legend. who gave the most chronically painful bear hugs when he'd had a few. But he was just a lovely bloke who would do anything for anyone. And his legacy is really 1,100 gigs and £500,000 worth of help for people around the country, because, you know, in his words, if we don't do it, then no fucker will. And he's right, you know. It is down to us, you know. There's no point in waiting for Parliament to pass a law, or waiting for somebody somewhere to do something about it. It's down to us all the time, with every last tiny little thing we can do. And Steve understood that. He realised that one tiny thing done by everybody, and the world's all right, isn't it? And that's the kind of essence of We Shall Overcome. That there's no such thing as an insignificant gesture, because added together, insignificant gestures become very significant indeed. And so I'm gonna sing Steve's song. It's the one that people probably recognise the most of his, and it concerns that the same creature that who caused the miners' strike that I just sang about, and a right-hand man. This is called Not Enough Bikes. In the days after the miners' strike, when Maggie took the call, and Norman said, get on your bikes to get the scousers off the door. Well, she snatched the milk from children's mouths to keep their mothers thin. And Arthur gambled all he had, praying that he'd win. But there's not enough bikes in England, Scotland, Ireland and Wales, and the dole queue's getting longer now, thanks to very poor bike sales. Well, she sailed off to the Falkland Isles to keep his seat in power, and it riles me now to have to say this was her finest hour. I went through school to join the queues in a 13-year-long hike. The state they left this country in should have been them too, on their bikes. But there's not enough bikes in England, Scotland, Ireland and Wales, and the dole queue's getting longer now, thanks to very poor bike sales. And if I saw her on fire, boys, I'd have left her burning. 'Cause one thing is for certain, boys, this singer's not for turning from the milk sludge generation and the calcium we crave. I hopped and I skipped behind the hearse, the poor Maggie in her grave. Oh, I hopped and I skipped behind the hearse, the poor Maggie in her grave. Go easy, brother. Respect. Right. That's tough. Right. I'm not so sure where to go after that, because it's taken a bit out of us. Let's let's go to the trenches for a bit of light relief. I started out my musical life in 1987 playing covers in a punk band at school when I was about 16, and after that was all over, I took to busking, inspired by Billy Bragg and by the Men That Couldn't Hang and by the Pugs and by Steve Earle and Christy Moore in the 80s. I stood on street corners all over the place, and me and my friend Dan, we hitchhiked down the length of this country, across the channel, right the way through France, Spain, Switzerland, Germany, Belgium and Holland, and we busked on street corners, and we paid our way for about 6 weeks out there doing that. And when I came back, put together Lithium Joe, and I was in that for 10 years. And so I was writing band songs, and anybody who's tried to do solo stuff who's also in a band will know that what works in a band doesn't necessarily work solo, and vice versa. You know, you're relying on different things. There's different tricks to the craft of writing the songs, and I had no idea how to be a solo performer, because all I'd ever busked was band songs, and all I'd ever written up until that point really was band songs. So my first 4 solo albums from 2004 to 2008, I didn't know what to do. I was writing band songs without a band, and it showed, you know. And it wasn't until I wrote this that I thought, actually I can do this, you know. And I was 37 years old. So anybody who's out there as a sort of like late teens or early 20s writing songs and that, and wondering how long it takes, sometimes it just clicks, and sometimes it'll take you another 17 years, you know. But the good thing about it is, by the time you get to 37, you're not really afraid of what people think anymore, and you also got a fair bit of life experience and a bit of knowledge you can pool and add to stuff, so you become more informed as a writer. I know the exact date that I wrote this song because the date's in the title. I wrote this on the 12th of November 2007, and it's called November the 12th. My name is Private Joe Carpenter, with the 51st Rifles in France, and I'm here to pick up the pieces of people they left when the armies advanced. The rats here grew fat on the flesh of my comrades, rotting out in no man's land. Now I'm trying to give some poor old bugger his name back, when all I can find is his hand. November 11, they rung out the bells. The crowds hit the streets as they silenced the shells. And I bet old Lloyd George was proud of himself, but then he went digging graves on November 12th. My brother died up in Wipers last winter. He signed up as soon as he could. Now bits of his body lay buried forever in 10 foot of Passchendaele mud. And there in no graveside my mother can mourn at. She cries out into the night. She says that his death is a message from heaven, that God never meant us to fight. November 11, they rung out the bells. The Crowds hit the streets as they silence the shells. And I bet all Lloyd George were proud of himself. But then he went digging graves on November the 12th. In some place when I come face to face with two unblinking eyes staring back. It give me a fright by some trick of the light. Christ, I swear that it looked like a jack, but it was some German boy barely 15. I stood there and I whispered. I said, you weren't ever really my enemy, son. No, he sat in some office somewhere. November 11, they rung out the bells. The crowds hit the streets as they silenced the shells. And now your ball warmongers locked down in hell. 'Cause I'd make 'em dig graves on November the 12th. Back in the day when I wrote that, Andy Wilson will testify to this. I used to open my sets with that because it would clear a crowded pub and Andy could get a seat. It was a really handy song to have in your locker, you know. It probably still would if I opened sets with it now, you know. Right. This is a request from Michael Lee Toast because it was a bit of a last minute one. He piled about 6 requests into Instagram earlier on today, and all but Post Psychosis Blues weren't anywhere near my set list, and I felt really bad about it, so I had a bite to eat and nipped out here and cooked up Halo for him. Because everybody tells me Halo's their favourite Joe Solo song, but I think it's because Rebecca and Dan aren't here that nobody requested it. Nobody requested it. Favourite Joe Solo song. Pish. Anyway, I'm going to sing Halo. And it's kind of a love song, isn't it? Well, it's for you, Michael. Thank you for your solidarity and for all your help over the last few years. You know, people like yourself, people like Kevin, who I've already mentioned. I cannot do this without, it's simple as that. You know, the solo thing is a complete misnomer. It takes 6 or 7 people to actually work this thing, and you're one of them, brother. So thank you. I met an old man, he said, son, I don't know you, but love is a free card trick. Watch and I'll show you how you turn your head when she walks in a room. 'Cause you can't see the stars for the halo around the moon. Don't try to hide it and don't look surprised. And no, son, don't you lie to me. Stare in your eyes, you're a ship on air rocks in a storm and you're doomed. 'Cause you can't see the stars for the halo around the moon. 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 You're kidding yourself if you think you're immune. You just can't see the stars, for they're all around the moon. If the ocean is crying, you don't dry your tears. If a mermaid is singing, you cover your ears. Or they'll take you and they'll drown you in their salty perfume. When you can't see the stars, for they all around the moon, halo around the moon, halo around the moon, halo around the moon, halo around the moon. You're kidding yourself if you think you're immune. You just can't see the stars, for the halo around the moon. Looked at that old man, I saw that he spoke through the fog of the whiskey. All mirrors and smoke, like some poet who whined about a flower in bloom, with some tired old line about a hill or the moon. I said, I know love and their traps, and you thought that a free man like me would fall in and get caught. Well, you must be the dumbest old man in the world. And I left him right there to go talk to a girl. Halo around the moon, halo around the moon, halo around the moon, halo around the moon. You're kidding yourself if you think you're immune. You just can't see the stars, for the halo around the moon. Thank you. Right, because that song reminded me of Dan. I hope you're out there, my punk soul brother. Love you, and I hope we get to do some miles again soon. I'm gonna sing this song because he requested it, and it's also going out to Andy Wilson because it reminds me of him too. And to Nick Quantrill because they all come out of a similar part of my existence. And I love them all to bits. And they're each in their own ways, whether they're singing or writing, always going to be creative souls. And this is a song, and I always kind of joke that it's about a country and western duo that I saw in Hull when I was about 19, and I go through all the spiel about how he was dressed as Roy Rogers and her as Calamity Jane, and they were in this corner of this pub getting ignored. And it's true, I did have them in mind when I kind of started writing the words, but really at its heart it's a song about little people who refuse to not dream big, and long may that continue. Because do you know what, there's enough shit in the world. And there's enough people who want to send you through a subcommittee to a subcommittee before you get to a committee before they throw your dreams out the window. Never let these bastards do it. Dream on. This is called English Dreamer, American Dream. The Mississippi flows just not down the Humber or the Houston Ouse. Suppose it's just the way it goes. There's no good place to start. Nothing in this world shines like old New York in the movie minds of men like me who learned our lines but never got the part. But just give me a 57 Chevy or a Cadillac and I could hit those dead roads like Kerouac wrote the Moriarty. As sad as it seems, I'm an English dreamer with American dreams. I still tear Broadway down, but it's in back rooms of pubs in cold grey northern towns. When I shut my eyes, sad as it sounds, I can almost hear the screaming. I've had to accept it's true that I'll never be Graham, nor you, Emmylou. Oh, I had wings, I just never flew. But it didn't stop me dreaming. No, give me a 57 Chevy or a Cadillac and I would hit those dead roads like Kerouac wrote the Moriarty. As sad as it seems, I'm an English dreamer with American dreams. English dreamer with American dreams. Yeah, it's alright, isn't it? It's kind of the lockdown thing. It's made me go over stuff because my life happens at a million miles an hour all the time. As soon as one thing's done, the next thing comes along, and I never have time to process information. So I don't really see things in perspective. But conjuring up that song, the last time I actually heard it, it was on Six Music, and I just had this kind of like sort of spine tingle because I know that song's TV Smith's favourite Joe Solo song, and TV Smith was on Tom Robinson's show on Six Music, and he gave that song as one of his favourite songs, and you know, because my life's going bang 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 bang, I don't really see that stuff and how amazing that is, but that's kind of mad, isn't it? That's two of the heroes of my youth talking about a song of mine while they're playing it on the radio. That blows your mind, honest. That's just more than you can process. That's what it is. Right, it's a couple of birthdays today. One of which is Lynn. and Lynn Gibson. And first of all, happy birthday, Lynn. And second, she requested this, which is the song called Summer Fields and Riot Shields. It's about what unfolded in front of Orgreave Coking Plant on the 18th of June 1984, and the injustice that ensued. But I won't say any more than that. It's going out to Lynn, but it's going out to everybody who was there on that day. But it's also going out to Ariel because, well, because it's Harry, innit? That's all you need by way of an explanation if you've ever met him. Summer fields and riot shields on 18684. Horseback truncheon wielding madman knocked me to the floor. And tumor told me all I need to know about the law. Summer fields and riot shields on 18684. TV crews make up the news and dead to proclaim. Striking miners, violent thugs declared a national shame. Then a new agenda, cause the truth is just a game. TV crews make up the news and guess who's in the frame. Coppers sneering, waving £10 notes up in the air. Blinded by the vision of despair. The kids that left the breakfast table starving, hungry stare. Coppers sneering, waving £10 notes up in the air. Summer fields and riot shields on 18684. 15 stitches in my head, a message from the Lord. She will stop at nothing now, and this is all I want. Summer fields and riot shields on 18684. Summer fields and riot shields on 18684. Happy birthday, Lynn. I'm having to adjust here. I don't know if I can get this up high enough because I'm 50, but I've effectively got a really tiny tambourine gaffer taped to my shin, because my normal tambourine is way too overpowering for a gig like this. All you will be able to hear is tambourine. Now, the problem with having a thing gaffer taped to your shin is that A, it hurts, and B, it's kind of like twizzled around a little bit, ripped the air off my shin, and it's now not actually ringing out with the beat. This kind of stagecraft is the stuff that you really don't need to know, but you know, you just don't get this with other live streams, brothers and sisters. This is a song that was requested by Kev Titterton, and he's lucky because he requested it, I think it was yesterday, and because he only wrote it a couple of weeks ago, I remembered it. But you know, requests that came in pretty late doors, quite hard to conjure up, because although I was about to say I make this look easy, but I don't, do I? My mate Terry once said of me that you managed to make something really simple look really difficult. And he said it in such a way that I took it as a compliment. But yeah, it's quite hard to remember all these words. I've not fallen back on a music stand just yet. But that's the sort of thing you say just before you sing a song and forget the words. So, well done, Joe. Fantastic work, son. This is not a love song. it's about why I don't write those kind of love songs, but also about why I actually am writing love songs. But I'm writing love songs to community and to solidarity and to the real love, the stuff that binds us together as human beings and as societies and as families and as lovers. It's not that kind of like rubbish that people sing about. It's something much deeper, and I'm trying to get to the heart of that. It's called The Kind of Love I Want to Sing. I won't sing about a broken heart, 'cause do hearts really break? Or is that just two words we've used so often now they're fake? Some torrid, teary teen who's gonna love you till he's dead. What can I say of love that ain't been said? I won't sing about forever. Forever's just a lie. See, the thing about forever is that everything must die. And anyone who says it's trying to get you into bed. What can I say of love that ain't been said? I wanna sing about a mother's tears as her last child leaves home, or the old man by the empty bed on Seaward all alone, or the father's bedtime stories that his father read to him. It's the kind of love I wanna sing. I wanna live a life of Riley while I sell the world romance, or some baby bullshit so that 9-year-olds can dance with a sugar-coated sentimental lie inside their head. What can I say of love that ain't been said? I wanna sing about the dog who knows when you've had a bad day, or the touchline mother's frozen toes as Sunday slips away, or the father going hungry so his kids can still tuck in. That's the kind of love I wanna sing. I wanna sing about the volunteer who gives out cups of tea, or the helping hands that reach out pulling people from the sea, or the nurse who's bringing comfort though she's risking everything. It's the kind of love I wanna sing. It's the kind of love I wanna sing. I'm looking at the clock ticking away and thinking I better get a bloody shift on. You still alright out there? Still plenty of you? That would be kind of good to know that you hadn't all gone. Because I can't tell, you know. It's like when you're on stage and the lights are off, you know, the audience can actually, you know, when you've got spotlights in your face and it's dark in the room, the audience could actually bugger off and you wouldn't know, because on the stage all you can see is light. And it's the same with live streaming, I found. I have no idea if you're still there. But if you are, This is for Paddy and Diane over in Northern Ireland, because Diane requested it, and it's one of them songs that nobody would really request, because it's on the album that I released into Britain going through an existential crisis. I released an album about fishing, and everybody cheered me on and ignored it in the droves. Even though, you know, it's a good album. Get it? This is called Don't Say Goodbye at First Light. Miners were round to the rafters, full of fisher lads in from the sea. Through the pints and the fights and the laughter, there was Michael and Mickey and me. I got settling deep in my pocket, and new cowboy boots on my feet. At the pawn shop I bought back your locket. So meet me on the top of Havelock Street. 3J millionaires on a Friday, skinned by a Sunday night. We sail on the tide Monday morning, my love. Just don't say goodbye at first light. There's many a man gone now, lost in that bitter black hell. In the way you get used to our living, you get used to our dying as well. Lost Tony and Dave on the Finbar, and when the Cleveland went down, that made 3 in 3 weeks that we lost till the day the winter dry in this town. 3J millionaires on a Friday, skinned by a Sunday night. We sail on the tide Monday morning, my love. Just don't say goodbye at first light. So don't wave me off at the window, and I won't take a penny to see. No, we'll scramble our coins on the corner, Michael and Mickey and me. I'll be back soon with pay in my pocket, and I won't want to spend it alone. It's 3 weeks for me on the whim of the sea, but your love will carry me home. 3J millionaires on a Friday, skinned by Sunday night. Sail on the tide Monday morning, my love. Just don't say goodbye at first light. No, sail on the tide Monday morning, my love. Just don't say goodbye at first light. Yeah. That's alright, isn't it? Right. I wrote this song for the Revolution in an Empty Room album, and it's about a battle that you have internally. If you, I mean, I meet lots of creative people, and most of them are sufferers with the internal monologue. I think that's kind of what makes us creative, is the kind of downside of that is that we suffer with the other bit. And I wrote this song about dealing with that, and trying to come to terms with it, and trying not to listen, and trying to use it as inspiration, trying to use it as something to kick against, because That's the way I've found to deal with it, apart from the gigs and just burn off a lot of steam, is to try and use all the negatives coming into my head as a positive inspiration. So that's why a lot of my songs are kicking back against something. Often they're kicking back against me. And this is a song called Never Let the Light Go Out. It's about just that, really. You never have a song to sing if you duck in every battle. You're never gonna change a thing, following the cattle down a dead-end street in a one-horse town. You're never gonna win a hand if you're folding with the aces. You're never gonna make a stand, tripping over laces tied together forever in a knot of pride. You never let the light go out, you need a little spark and so you never let the light go out. No, 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 no. You never let the light go out, it'll leave you in the dark, I know. You never let the light go out. You're talking like a hammer, yeah, but you're living like a nail. You ask me why I even try at all, when I know I'm gonna fail. I tell you every dog alive is dead. That's why I'm barking and I'm biting, 'cause if I'm going down now, I'm going down fighting. You never let the light go out, you leave me black, I know. You never let the light go out. No, 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 no. You never let the light go out, it'll leave you in the dark, I know. You never let the light go out. You either take a look around now and say that apathy beats us, or you try to rev it up now until there's nothing can defeat us. You never let the light go out, you need a little spark and so you never let the light go out. You never let the light go out, it'll leave you in the dark, I know. You never let the light, never let the light out. You never let the light go out, you need a little spark and so you never let the light go out. No, 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 no. You never let the light go out, and I leave you in the dark, I know. You never let the light go out. That takes a bit of concentrating, I know. Right. I'll go back to the ukulele for a couple, because these were this is from my second Potter's Field album, and it's a request from Helena. So Miss Dilly Stone Miller, this is probably the only time I've played it live since the last time I played it here in Middlesbrough. This is a story, actually, apart from all the times I played it on that tour. Yeah. Forgot about that. This is a soldier returning from the trenches. You know, and foregoing the parades for slightly more carnal inclinations. It's called Sally Jones. Done with my rifle and my old tin lid. Don't look much like a soldier now, but then I'm guessing that I never did. Tell mother I made it home. Now look out, wagon and horses, and look out, Sally Jones. Farewell, Captain Aimless, and goodbye, Sergeant Froome. I never see your faces again, boys, it'll be too soon. Tell mother I made it home. Now look out, wagon and horses, and look out, Sally Jones. My Sally Jones, my Sally Jones, my Sally Jones, my Sally Jones. I made it out of the trenches. At times it was a rocky ride. I've been got at and yelled at and shot at and shelled at. I made it out the other side. Tell mother I made it home. Now look out, wagon and horses, and look out, Sally Jones. My Sally Jones, my Sally Jones, my Sally Jones, my Sally Jones. Look out, Sally, I'm gonna marry. Look out, Sally, I'm gonna marry. Look out, Sally, I'm gonna marry you, my Sally Jones. Yeah. That was only written in 2012, but I guess it's kind of dated badly, isn't it? It's a little bit Harvey Weinstein, isn't it? I think I might not have to play that again. Right. I'm going to sing this one for John Beechin because he asked for it, and then that just seems like only fair. But it's a song that's basically an history lesson for people who think of this country in terms of a union flag and all the amazing things the establishment does for working people. It's a proper history lesson, a working class history lesson, that the sort you don't get in schools. It's called Land of Hope and Glory. I see the ghosts of all the Gerald marchers, and there's Red Helen as she led the line, while down in Topple 6 men made martyrs, standing together been their only crime. This is your land of hope and glory, where if you're poor you get to beg and bow. But in your land of hope and glory, it's the hope that we need right now. When Stanley and the diggers saw their free crop slaughtered, the soldiers kicked them from the common land, while poor John Barley was hanged, drawn and quartered for preaching justice for his fellow man. This is your land of hope and glory, where if you're poor you get to beg and bow. But in your land the hope that we need right now. Poor Thomas Paine, a pauper mocked and threatened, made nursery rhyme of all the rights of man, while Mary Wollstonecraft there wields their weapons. I swears the women in your master plan. This is your land of hope and glory, where if you're poor you get to beg and bow. But in your land of hope and glory, it's the hope that we need right now. From the suffragettes that they force-fed in prison, to the tank that Churchill sent to Old George Square, and a cry for justice met with sheer derision by the very men who rammed them fans in there. This is your land of hope and glory, where if you're poor you get to beg and bow. But in your land of hope and glory, it's the hope that we need right now. Your country needs you to believe in fables, just like the yew tree with the rotten roots. From Corporation Field right down to Cable Street, we never liked the town of your jackboots. This is your land of hope and glory, where if you're poor you get to beg and bow. But in your land of hope and glory, it's the hope that we need right now. From the alienated and the apathetic, to the Guinea men that built the city on, and the miners stitched up with no anesthetic. It's all for one but never one for all. This is your land of hope and glory, where if you're poor you get to beg and bow. I love this land but you can keep your glory. It's the hope that we need right now. It's the hope that we need right now. It's the hope that we need right now. Oh. Right. Keeping one eye on the clock because I am out in my shed, and because I normally stop about 10, so I've got 25 minutes to fit the rest of these songs in, and I think I can almost do it if I try really hard. This is going out to Chip and to Nadia and to everybody involved in the poetry on the picket line. I first met Chip at a Morning Star event at the 100 Club in London almost exactly 4 years ago, and this song was on the set list, and I know he's asked for it a couple of times since. It's a song about all that working class anger that is manifesting itself in all kinds of mad ways, but it's important not to lose sight of why people are angry in the first place, because only then can you understand why the world is tilting the way it's tilting, and how that anger is being harnessed by others to turn it into something less creative and more destructive. And it's feeding back into the whole problem to begin with. It's called Ain't Gonna Be a Pawn No More. I'm back down at the barricades, got it all red banners and the flags on fire. Straight out down the road of freedom and get away and around the world. I'm gonna shout it out from the highest mountain. Just remember what my voice is for. I ain't gonna take the fall for no one. Ain't gonna be a pawn no more. I'm a simple man, I got a simple problem. I I've been taken for a low-down fool. They got me with their mathematics, but then I never went up public school. Taking 3 from 2, you're making someone lose out. Don't you come a knocking on my door. I ain't gonna take the fall for no one. Ain't gonna be a pawn no more. This land is my land. I've seen it ripped by the men of mains. They still got money in their Savile Row suits. Ain't got a penny in my old blue jeans. When you get in debt, you gotta pay your way out. They get in debt, I gotta pay some more. I ain't gonna take the fall for no one. Ain't gonna be a fun, shine down from the highest mountain. Just remember what your voice is for. I ain't gonna take the fall for no one. Ain't gonna be a pawn no more. Right. Do you know what? I'm having a lot of fun doing this. I hope you are. And the one thing I do keep forgetting to say is that I am trying to raise funds with tonight's gig for Mesopotamia Cafe in Nottingham as part of We Shall Overcome. There's a link at the header of this live stream. I know it says about it being a laptop fund, but we long ago got that covered thanks to your generosity, so thank you very, very much for that. But every penny over and above what I need to replace that laptop is going to go to Mesopotamia. So don't be put off by the fact that there's loads of money in that fund. You know, it's clear that I've got enough for a laptop in there, but the difference over and above will go to Mesopotamia. It will go to outreach community work in Nottingham. So please, you know, if you're enjoying the show, please, you know, donate. That would be brilliant. This was a request for Pete by Pete Yen, and Pete is kind of a real unsung hero of We Shall Overcome. Pete is the reason everything's bound together. It's kind of like he's got amazing skills of bringing people together in a way that makes them feel special and part of something. And it's an incredible gift, and he doesn't get half as much credit as he deserves for what he does for the cause and what he does for people in general. I love him a bit, so I thanks, Pete. Really appreciate everything you do, and this is for you. It's from the No Pasaran album, and it's a song called Our Open Eyes. Saw Tommy James on Speaker's Corner. Knew there and then I had to go. Just something in the way he spoke of freedom. Can't explain it, I just know. And if they ask you why we're leaving, to fight and die so far away, just say a man needs something to believe in, and our open eyes could see no other way. Them black shirts that come marching in last week, man, spreading all their hate and fear. And like Tommy says, it's why we we've gotta go, man. If we don't stop them there, the same could happen here. And if they ask you why we're leaving, to fight and die so far away, just say a man needs something to believe in, and our open eyes could see no other way. So I'm sailing off to Spain to fight for freedom. And don't try to stop me now, my please. 'Cause like Tommy says, you have to stand for something. 'Cause who wants to live down on their knees? And if they ask you why we're leaving, to fight and die so far away, just say a man needs something to believe in, and our open eyes could see no other way. Our open eyes could see no other way. My next gig in this group is going to be 2 weeks today. I'm going to perform the No Pasaran album, so I'll tell you a little bit more about the story behind that song then. I'm going to use this group for all my main live streaming gigs. I've just changed the title of the group to let you know what the date is and what's coming up next, you know. So I hope you're enjoying it, and I'm sorry it's not as interactive as I was hoping for. I will sort that out for next time. Right. Before I lose my thought entirely, I'm going to have to do this. What got requested quite early on was a Lithium Joe song called Snow, which is the oldest song I'm singing tonight. I wrote it in a cattle truck. Well, no, it was a furniture wagon actually, on the M5, hitchhiking up from Exeter to Liverpool, and there was a motorway crossover onto the old M6, and I was still in the back of this furniture wagon with a pen and paper, and by the time we got to Liverpool I'd written this song Snow. I was just getting over a broken heart by breaking someone else's, you know, that thing you do when you're young. I was feeling pretty miserable about the whole thing, and about how if you carried on behaving like that you'd end up alone, and this is called Snow. It's for Pat and Nick, and but it's especially for Big E, for Dave, and for Eddie, and for Mish, and for everybody who always requests this song whenever these kind of things go out. It's just quite hard to do, you know, because I'm old. Today nothing, no surprises, no regrets, and nothing came between them, so 20 cigarettes, a chill November sunrise, a frost-bitten night, and another one at a birthday season, counting out their cats. The friendships that he once made came to nothing in the end, 'cause he changed all his perspectives on the photographs of them, so they turned into nothing more than pictures on a shelf, reminders of the days that passed and left him by himself. He stopped to think, what does it all mean? Found himself with nothing more. on it. Zippy's out and frozen like the snow. Zippy's out and frozen like the snow. They used to write him letters, and he kept them all upstairs in a box beneath the bed, where he now lies deep in despair. And he's flicking through the pages of forgotten distant days. He reads them all but one last time, then falls his life away. He stopped to think, what does it all mean? Found himself with nothing more. Yesterday's tomorrow go to, but I opened up my eyes and found I was alone. Where did it go? Now the winter on his eyes upon it. Zippy's out and frozen like the snow. Zippy's out and frozen like the snow. Zippy's out and frozen like the snow. Like the snow. Like the snow. Like the snow. I had a dream, something turned me round and took me back to where I'd been. A heart full of hope, eyes all wide with innocence. I was still in awe of all I'd seen. George reminded me of stolen hours somewhere, sitting, watching TV from the stairs. Still believing that the world held out its open arms for me. Still believing I could care. Stolen summers, killing time. Still feed my fears 20 years down the line. And I've been too messed up to see. Still a child inside of me. Times change, guess we all change with them all. So the story goes. And if there really is an answer to it all, I guess no one really knows. This drift in and out of one another, fading blue to grey to black. Doors close and lock themselves behind us, making sure there's no going back. Stolen summers, killing time. Still feed my fears 20 years down the line. And I've been too messed up to see. Still a child inside of me. Guess I just drifted down all the days in my life, unaware of what I'd done. But then I suppose you never know just what you're wasting, just what you're wasting when you're young. And yeah, I know I gotta make it through tomorrow, and God only knows that I'll try. Yeah, I'll try. But another day, another dream goes drifting out of reach beyond me. Another little part of me dies. Storing summers, killing time. Still feed my fears 20 years down the line, and I've been too messed up to see. Still a child inside. I've been too messed up to see. Still a child inside of me. Right, that's going out to Notton and to Craig and to Nick and to Andy and to Lithium Joe members past and present. There's a reason I don't sing that song anymore. I think all of those reasons were laid bare for you. Right, I've got a handful of songs left to play, and I'm going to have to push beyond 10, so I hope you can stay with us, because requests are requests, and I'm not too far from the end, but far enough. This is a song about music, about how it inspires people, and how they don't always clock that, how they kind of, you leave a gig and you think that the band's just done something really special, but you know, but whether you're leaving a gig by Billy Bragg or Grace, or you know, this Charlie here, and with a skip in your step and your heart beating a little bit louder, you know, that's not us that are doing that. That's you. All music is reminding you of who you are and what's possible. It's not the music. It's what you're bringing to that gig. It's what you have in your heart. It's what our lives are really like when you take away all the conditioning, you know, all the things that crush your spirit. Music, the best music, just reminds you of the fact that that still exists inside of you. So, you know, it's important to know the difference. This is a song about learning that difference, and it's about my favourite band, but then it isn't at the same time. It's about that vital lesson that you must always learn, that it's you. It's you. Pulling 10 till 8 at Rennies, it were driving me berserk. And I'd stop for 20 pennies on the way back home from work. When shuffle sent a song my way I hadn't heard in years, complete control came pounding out, and I held back the tears. It must have been November, 'cause me dad was still at home when the Clash played Borough Town Hall with that riot all their own. We'd spiked our hair with soap and we'd sewn zips into our jeans. Looking back, we hadn't much of nothing but our dreams. There was me and Jack and Johnny and a stolen bottle of gin. We didn't have a penny, but the band they let us in. Took me 30 years to see it on a number 19 plus. The Clash didn't smash the town hall. No, the Clash didn't smash the town hall. No, the Clash didn't smash the town hall. That was us. There was Mick and Paul and Topper, and in the centre of the stage there was Stromer backing orders with that mystic kind of rage. This was our rebel army, and they come to take our town. We let out all that anger, and we tore that damn place down. There was me and Jack and Johnny and a stolen bottle of gin. We didn't have a penny, but the band they let us in. Took me 30 years to see it on a number 19 plus. The Clash didn't smash the town hall. That was us. Band dead and gone now. Yeah, and I thought I was too. Ah, but Stromer woke up something when he shouted, "That means you!" And that jacked my job at Rennies. What I'll do now, I don't know, but I owed it to the young man I was all them years ago. And the moral of this story is you've one life, don't you blow it. Yeah, and anyone can change the world, it's just most of us don't know it. You either live life like you mean it, Oh, you rack up my regrets. And I'm 53 next Friday. Oh, but I ain't finished yet. Took me 30 years to see it. On a number 19 plus. The Clash didn't smash the town hall. No, the Clash didn't smash the town hall. No, the Clash didn't smash the town hall. That was us. Right, strange signals on my screen, so I hope you can still hear us. This is for Joe and for Kevin, locked away in France somewhere with crayons and mischief. It's from my Fight the Good Fight Club album in 2012, and I thought it was a snappy little title, that, you know, there was the film Fight Club, and I just thought, Fight the Good Fight Club, that sounds cool, that, doesn't it? Except the first rule of Fight Club also applied to the first rule of Fight the Good Fight Club, in that nobody talked about it. But then, you know, it can't be helped. Don't forget to donate. And also, on my Bandcamp link that you'll be able to find, as part of my lockdown solidarity thing, any merch that I sell until we can gig again is going to a grassroots cause. This week it's Dundee Food Bank, so if you like what you're hearing, dig out a CD, buy it, and or download it, and all the money will go to Dundee Food Bank. This is called Chains Made of Gold. I met an old man in the bar by the harbour, the bar by the harbour, one late summer's eve. The seagulls were wheeling high over the houses. He spoke in a whisper as chill as the breeze. He said, "Liberty, son, is whiskey and women, and whiskey and women are parts and they're sold. Slavery, boy, his chin's made of iron, and freedom's the same, but with chains made of gold." I told that old man I had gold in my pocket, gold to buy freedom. I'd walk, I'd not crawl, but he laughed and he told me, "You know not of freedom, for freedom you buy, that's no freedom at all." He said, "Liberty, son, is whiskey and women, and whiskey and women are parts and they're sold. Slavery, boy, his chin's made of iron, and freedom's the same, but with chains made of gold." I left that old man in the bar by the harbour. He stared at the moonlight out over the wall, and I swear that he must have been half mad with whiskey. The words that he spoke, they made no sense at all. He said, "Liberty, son, is whiskey and women, whiskey and women, and bars and their soul. Slavery boy, his chin's made of iron, and freedom's a sin, but with chins made of gold. They said liberty song is whiskey and women, whiskey and women, and bars in their soul. Slavery boy, his chin's made of iron, and freedom's a sin, but with chins made of gold. Thank you. Okay. I think I've got 4 songs left. So if you're getting really tired, you know, I'm sorry it's dragged out this long, but it's your fault for requesting songs. This was requested by Matt Hill. Matt is just a total genius, and he's able to make ideas happen. He's able to crystallise them and just find a way through technology to make all the crazy ideas in my head work. And the Isolation Festival was just an idea without Matt. He made it happen on the ground. There's a lot of the artists involved will tell you it was Matt doing all the tech stuff behind the scenes, really making sure it clicked. And I love Matt Hill to bits. So this is going out to Matt and to Caroline over there in Glossop. And it's a song about, I guess on the surface it's about a midlife crisis, but I don't believe in midlife crises. I just believe in the fact that lots of people get sucked into a life of jobs and overtime and mortgages and cars before they've really had a chance to work through their dreams and their aspirations. And then they have kids, and then it's all finished for a little while, and then you kind of come out the other side of kids and mortgages and cars and all that lot, and you've got some unfinished business with the world. And you know, I don't have that kind of thing because I've never not chased my teenage dreams, you know. But I kind of understand it, and I don't really see as a midlife crisis. I see it as the last unbroken promise of our youth, you know. Something to do because there's still plenty of life left, and you should never give up on the life that's left, you know. This is called NY to LA, and it's for Matt. Me and Jimmy, we grew up round here, but we always talked of getting out. But raised on chips and beans and TV, we was never in with much of a shout. We'd spread a map out on my bedroom floor, draw a pencil line from coast to coast. We'd sit and whisper at the back of the class about the best place to meet Elvis's ghost. We always swore that we would fly out there and buy ourselves a big old Chevrolet. hit the road, boys. Hit the road, boys. From New York to LA. We left school and Jimmy moved away. Me and Julie settled down to supermarkets and to overtime. There's not much more to this town. She'd sometimes ask what I was thinking. I'd say nothing, like us blokes do. But I'll be out there on some open road in a big old Lincoln 52. We always swore that we would fly out there by ourselves, a big old Chevrolet, and hit the road, boys. Hit the road, boys. From New York to LA. Days turn into weeks and months to years. Your life slips away so fast. Julie said I should have grown up now. I'm still that loser at the back of the class. I lost my job, they shut the factory down, and Julie left me for some bloke who worked for someone shutting factories down. And they say God don't like a joke, but I met Jimmy in the street one day. He'd been through the mill like me. We raised a glass for dreams that never were, and a dozen more for what could be. We're in the airport now to fly out there and buy ourselves that big old Chevrolet and hit the road, boys. Hit the road, boys. From New York to LA. Cheers, Matt. Getting a bit ragged on the old throat, but promise is a promise. Just feel a bit bad because I went to see Steve Earle once, and he played for 3 hours, and quite frankly that was all the Steve Earle I need in my lifetime in one sitting. So I'm kind of realised that I'm just doing a Steve Earle, aren't I? I'm doing a Springsteen, only there's no atmosphere, and I'm asking you to tune in to watching me on a flat screen in my shed. So all of you who've been here from the start, I absolutely salute you, because it's proper troubadour kind of stuff, that, you know. That's an investment in the evening, that. This is going out to Dave Wood, because he requested it, and it's a song I hadn't played since I hadn't even heard it since Chris mastered it in the studio back in 2009, and I had to play it to myself to remind me how it went. And but a request from Dave is a request indeed. Dave, I know you're suffering, and God only knows if I'll get to see you again on the other side of all this. But you know, you're a comrade and a friend, and massive respect here for everything you've put in through your life and everything you've continued to do despite the fact you're poorly. Hand on heart, respect, comrade, respect. It's going out to yourself and to Linda there, because I know life ain't easy. This is called The Ballad of Joe Carter. My name is Joe Carter 6473. I'm all that's left now of my pals' company. The rest all went west in the last big advance. Their blood runs like rivers through trenches in France. To make it out here you need dry socks and luck. And when most shells come over, men don't even duck. You get tuned to the sound of them, soon you can tell the wild ones from them that'll blow you to hell. Now Big Jack O'Donnelly got me alone. He said, Joe, the real fight begins if we get home. All men are born equal, I'm sure you'll agree. The field marshal seems more equal than me. So I sat there and thought of my life back in home. My brothers and sisters, their bellies are full. My dad down the docks working 18-hour days. Blood, sweat and tears for that pittance of pay. Then Big Jack says, Joe, on this next big attack, I just got this feeling I ain't coming back. So remember this hard-bitten tale that I tell. Remember my words and remember them well. There's a fight in the factories and fields that I'll miss. And if this almighty Joe answer me this, what problem has ever been solved by their wars? And I won't kill my brother for another man's cause. We lay there and wait for that barrage to stop. And when that whistle blew, we went over the top. I see you in Berlin, young Mac Duffy said, just as he copped the one straight through his head. Then Big Jack and me got caught in no man's land, when a big bloody shell blew my gun from my hand. I looked down on my legs, I saw gashes and cuts, but when I looked back for Jack, there was just bone and guts. So I lay there all day in that mud, blood and slime, and I waited till dark, then crawled back to the line. but it's where is your rightful son? What have we here? I was branded a traitor and sent to the rear, where I've been court-martialed and tied to a chair. I've been beaten and blindfolded here in the square. Your last words, you coward, you commie, you queer. But the ghost of Big Jack whispered right in my ear. There's a fight in the factories and fields that I'll miss. And if there's so almighty Joe, answer me this: what problem has ever been solved by their wars? And I won't kill my brother for another man's cause. There's a fight in the factories and fields that I'll miss. And if you're so almighty, then answer me this: what problem has ever been solved by your wars? And I won't kill my brother for another man's cause. Oh dear. Right, it's kind of wrapping up time. 2 to go. I think I've covered everything. I hope I've not left anybody out and let anybody down here. And I hope that you can find a few quid to help Mesopotamia, and to buy a couple of CDs or t-shirts or whatever, and help me help Dundee Food Bank. I know everything's backwards to you, but that does say please donate. I should have thought that through, shouldn't I, and written them backwards. Right. I'm conscious of the fact that less is more and more is boring, and so thank you for sticking this out. I am going to come back in 2 weeks and perform the No Pasaran album, and tell the stories behind the songs and a little bit of a potted history of what I was singing about and why. I know that's only 2 weeks away, and I know that's asking a lot of you, but if you do want to hear that record, that'd be great to have your company. It was supposed to be launched a couple of weekends ago, and obviously with the lockdown we weren't able to do that. I'm going to sing this song for Rebecca and for Lee, and but also for Chris Parsons, who we lost a couple of weeks ago. A damn fine comrade, and my favourite memory of Chris was being with Dave Pascal and Kev Titterton, all matched up in We Shall Overcome 2015 red t-shirts at Shakespeare's in Sheffield, singing along to this song like their life depending on it. And it's the moments like that that you kind of remember when you lose people. It's quite a strange thing, passing in and out of people's lives as a singer, you know. But I've always treated Facebook friends as proper friends, and I hope that you've always got that off me too, because I don't believe in this thing that you know they're not real friends. I meet you up and down the country, and we share hugs and handshakes, and there's no difference in that friendship to any other. And so when you lose somebody, like we lost Julian earlier on in the year, and Chris, and it hits me just as hard as it would anybody else. You know, close family and friends, and I think, you know, in the community we've built up around We Shall Overcome and around the sort of like lefty music scene, if you like, if you want to dismiss it as that. When we lose people, it really does hurt. So this is for Chris. And you might know this song. It's called No Passaran. It has a chorus, and if you want to sing along, that'll be it. Just let me know where you're singing along from on that thread. That'll be fantastic. I can see sort of names going past and that, but I can't read them because my phone's too far away. So I'm sorry about the interactive quality of this gig being low, but it's lovely to know you've been there, you know. My name is Jack Atkins and I'm not afraid, and I live and die by this vow that I made. The only good fascist, a dead one, they say, and around the rail we have. When nothing's left all them months ago, told him I'd come not to kill but to cure. But for an ambulance driver my shot's pretty sure, and around the rail we have. There'll be no passaran, no passaran, no passaran today. The fascists have come for our freedom, we ain't gonna give it away. There'll be no passaran here today. I told my mother, now mother be strong, but the left way is right and the right way is wrong. And you can stick that on my grave when I'm gone, for around Maria we are. There'll be no passaran, no passaran, no passaran today. The fascists have come for our freedom, we ain't gonna give it away. There'll be no passaran here today. The case may be cast, and the cast may be cast, but you armies of darkness, you best do your worst. 'Cause to win, yeah, well, you gotta get past us first, and around Maria we are. There'll be no passaran, no passaran, no passaran today. The fascists have come for our freedom, we ain't gonna give it away. There'll be no passaran here, no passaran, no passaran, no passaran today. No passaran, no passaran, no passaran today. No passaran, no passaran, no passaran today. The fascists have come for our freedom, we ain't gonna give it away. There'll be no passaran here. finally reached the end. I've got one apology to make, and that is to Mark Hutchinson, because I haven't sung Shining a Light like you requested, but it's an a cappella tune and my throat's gone, fella, so I do apologise for that, Mark, but thank you for shouting up for it, and I will play that at another time. I'm going to go out with a song called We Shall Overcome. I think you're probably going to know it. I want to dedicate it to Helen Grout, because it's her birthday. Happy birthday, Helen. But most especially to Big Sis, who asked for it. I cannot stress how important Pauline Town is to not just to me, but to the wider We Shall Overcome family, in terms of just leading by example and every day being there for people, you know, lifting us up when we're flagging fast, and I'm just glad that sometimes we can do that in return for her. The money from the festival was cleared today, and Pauline is now in possession of that, and we've secured the station, which is amazing, because we don't know how long the lockdown is going to go on in terms of pubs and in terms of gigs, and it's just fantastic to know that Big Sis is safe, and that the outreach work there is secure in the medium and long term there. So fantastic job everyone who attended that festival and donated. Cannot stress enough how much that mattered, not just to Pauline, but to us at We Shall Overcome. It was fantastic to see, so thank you. And that's me. Thanks for spending an entire night with me. I really do appreciate it. It's a long thing to go through, and I hope I've entertained you. And if I've not, I'm sure you've disappeared. But at the end of the day, we will get to the other side of this, and I know everybody keeps talking about what will the world look like on the other side, but if the songs I've sung you tonight and the spirit of them and what I've been trying to say through my music and through We Shall Overcome, it is not a question, what will the world look like on the other side of this. We shape the world. We determine what it looks like on the other side of this. We don't leave it to other people. We grab it by the collar and we shape it ourselves. That's what we do. That's what we should do. We don't cede to power. We don't bow down to committees. It's our world, our streets, and we turn it into what we please. So do not ever forget that. Please sing along at home. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my I do believe we shall overcome someday. I better do the full Seeger, haven't I? Because I know there's going to be somebody at least singing along and wanting to know what the hell verse comes next. We'll do the We'll Walk Hand in Hand verse next, yeah. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. We shall live in peace. 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 Not Afraid verse that Pete dedicates to the civil rights movement. It just struck me the last time I sang this song was the last gig I played in the flesh at Heaton's pub in Salford for the Trade Union Football and Alcohol Committee, and I could hear all the voices singing along. I'm stood in a circle of people, and these things matter. These kind of moments kind of matter to you. When I stopped, but I for one, when all this starts up again, I'm going to go straight back at it full on, because it's the only way to keep it going. And I hope some of you will be out there anyway, and I hope you'll not be afraid to shake my hand and give me a hug, because we are going to have to put this well back the way it was, and we aren't going to have to be afraid about it. When I say put the world back the way it was, I obviously mean in a socialist model, not this capitalist claptrap. We'll put the world back different. We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We are not afraid today. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. So back at the start, the we shall overcome verse. Wherever you are, sing it at the top of your lungs, and let the song kind of course through you, because it's one of those melodies that's really uplifting to sing. So do it. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. Thanks for your time and your company tonight, everyone. Hope you've enjoyed it. Good night.